What is up, guys? Icy Hot Clan jumping in, doing my second video in JRP, jumping in here with part 2 of the recap. There might be a third episode here for the recap for my LEO and all that, but we're going to be covering the next 3 storylines, which is the Special Task Force, the Red Skulls, and my personal storyline. But yeah, guys, let's get into it, and like I said, guys, these are bigger storylines. But yeah, let's get into this, and yeah, let me start reading for you guys. But Darnell, so basically this is the Special Task Force storyline. Basically, you know about Special Task Force and everything. Which is a special it says in here what it's about. So basically, Darnell has always been on the police radar due to he was the up-and-coming head of the Balls and is now the head of the Balls. The police have always attempted to bribe Darnell to snitch his dad out and shut down the Balls, which obviously Darnell never did, because I wouldn't be talking about this if he didn't. But while Darnell was trying to get the strip club ready, he gets 2 officers come to the strip club and walk in. The one officer was a motorcycle officer. The other officer, who was a detective. The detective basically asked Darnell a bunch of questions about a shooting that happened at Mission Road Police Department. Darnell basically straight up tells the detective motorbiking them to get out. The motorbike officer pulls his gun when they were outside. Darnell shot the motorcycle officer down when the detective left. Darnell ran from there. Darnell basically then gets the detective's number off the dark web and calls the detective. He gets Henry Rodriguez to meet him at the gas station nearby, where once the officer or detective met up with Darnell, they basically found out the officer was actually the assistant chief of police. Darnell basically then takes out his gun when they were inside Mission Row PD and basically takes the 2 officers hostage, where the assistant chief of police trainee tried something funny and was killed by Darnell and them. The next day, a source called Darnell saying that the assistant chief of police sent a special task force unit that is after both him and Terry. But the reason they shouldn't be after Terry is because, Terry doesn't have any warrants or anything. Don't mind Discord notifications, I forgot to shut those off. But Terry has always, known that Darnell was a cop magnet. Terry had never been in trouble other than a few traffic tickets, and obviously the arrest at age 7, which I forgot to add. But Terry goes out on the street to help Darnell do business and all that. He gets a call from Darnell saying that he's in hiding because there's a special task force after him. When Terry gets pulled over up in Sandy Shores, and when he realizes it, and Terry realizes the assistant chief of CPD, who Darnell took hostage, which then the assistant chief pushes to try to get information from Terry about Darnell's whereabouts. Shit, I've been talking for a little bit now, goddamn. But yeah, that's really Special Task Force storyline, guys. There's probably going to be more involving it a lot sooner. You guys will probably actually get to witness it go down. Whether it be a big shootout or something like that, But this is one of the bigger storylines, the Red Skull storyline. Alright, time to start reading now. Darnell has always wanted more gangs in San Andreas for multiple reasons. Growing up, Darnell had a friend named Jacquini who wanted to start his own gang. After Darnell graduated, Darnell found out Jacquini started a gang named the Red Skulls. That's the past about it. Darnell was riding his motorcycle, or his Dinka Thrust, when Jacquini actually pulled up beside Darnell. Jacquini asked for Darnell to meet him at the ammunition. When Darnell arrived, him and Jacquini started planning a bank heist at the Pacific Standard Bank. Darnell and Jacquini drove to the heliport where they grab a helicopter. Darnell and Jacquini flew to the shoreline near the Fleeka Bank you rob on a heist and robbed the 24/7 nearby. Then they used a helicopter to get away. Darnell and Zucchini were both short on money, so they both split that take of 5,000, half and half. They get out of the helicopter, like I said. Darnell and Zucchini drove back to Grove, where a major shootout between one of Darnell's members and the LEO were happening. Darnell and Zucchini went back to the Vago turf. Darnell grabbed out his AK-47 and actually killed one of the officers there and shot another 2 officers. Darnell ran towards Zucchini's turf to find that Zucchini was in the middle of a shootout with the Vagos. Darnell basically helped him out with the Vagos, killed all the Vagos. Congrats, yay, bum. The next day, when Darnell got away, he went to sleep. The next day, him and Zucchini met up. This was when there was this is when an old assistant chief of police were there, not the new one. The assistant chief of police hit Darnell's car. Darnell started chasing the officer. Darnell tried talking to the officer about why he hit him. The assistant chief of police tased him. Darnell and Zucchini were over Bluetooth. Darnell basically said, shoot, shoot, shoot. Zucchini pulled out a mini Uzi and opened fire upon the ISP commissioner, an ISP trooper, and the chief of police. Darnell started a major shootout. Darnell got in his car, drove away and started shooting. Darnell flew after the shooting. He drove super fast up to the church up in Vinewood. He gets away, steals a car, starts opening fire upon... He hears Zucchini got shot. When he found out Zucchini got shot, he basically shot... how do I put this? Basically, when, sorry, I had to go get a drink. When, he shoots 2 troopers in the back of the head, where that was brought in earlier. He then gets in a pursuit, shoots the CPD officer patrolling him. Darnell steals his car, gets away. He went back to Grove and went to sleep. He met up with Zucchini a few days later. Zucchini yelled at Darnell because Darnell totally didn't gather 7 warrants and also becoming the most wanted criminal in the state of San Andreas. Terry has always wondered what it would like having another gang in San Andreas other than the current. He always wanted a new gang to be friends with. Terry got a call from Darnell saying that he needs him to pick up a package. Terry was told that the guy would meet him at the recycling center. Terry actually found the guy at the Sandy Shores gas station, escorted him to the recycling center. They dropped off the package, which was about $1 billion in cash. And yeah, it's really all that. It's only been 10 minutes, goddamn. My throat's starting to hurt. Oh, speaking of Zucchini, he just joined the court server. Not the court server, the jail server. The personal problem storyline. My favorite, because this one doesn't get billed so much. Darnell has always had personal problems, whether it be people bullying him in school, cops bugging him. He always learned to deal with his problems. This is all past experience, okay? When Darnell hit the streets of San Andreas, he thought that he wouldn't get in trouble with the law. When Darnell met up with someone, he ended up shooting at the police. Darnell gained his first warrant that day due to they actually found fingerprints on the shell casings at the scene. After that, Darnell had always been on the run. Darnell has managed to gather 7 warrants in San Andreas, becoming the most wanted criminal. Darnell actually currently has over 20 counts of murder. I can actually show you guys all the charges right now. I just gotta go to my notes. Clear open. I just gotta come to... right here. I forgot to update it to 7 and all that, but this is really all his charges and everything. Basically 12 murder of an LEO, 10 attempted, 2 accessory to murder, kidnapping an LEO times 2, felony evasion times 6, assault on an LEO times 1, murder of an LEO times 5, attempted murder of a civ times 6, grand theft auto times 2, aiding and abetting times 2, hit and run times 2, and the rest times 1. Okay. But yeah, like I said, a whole lot of charges. Terry has always been one of the family that everyone came to with problems and he would fix. But no one ever asked Terry how his feelings and problems were. Terry hasn't gotten a warrant or anything, but has been arrested and he has got multiple speeding tickets. Terry has shot at multiple people, but he has actually got away. Depending if I want to continue or get a drink. But I'll continue. So, this is the sheriff's office. This is my sheriff character, Darian Icy. He's actually, I can show you guys this. He is, as you guys can see, the sheriff of the sheriff's department. That's what all the stuff looks like. This is actually my department. I don't want that stuff getting leaked. I gotta find the server trait. Right up. Shit, it's right here. There. Basically, Darnell has always wanted to be a cop. Not Darnell. Darian has always wanted to be a cop since he was a kid. He has always taken opportunities to get closer to the local department. He went on multiple ride-alongs and helped them run community events. He graduated, applied for the sheriff's department, got accepted, he graduated from the academy, became an officer, became a supervisor after a little bit, and then a bunch of commanding officers retired, and he became the sheriff of the sheriff's department. I'm gonna have to go get a drink in a minute. Darian's first patrol as sheriff was pretty exciting, as you could say. They started the shift off with a officer being shot at. Darian responded and helped the 3 officers on the scene take out the suspect. Darian helped deal with the scene, then went back on patrol. Darian then got a traffic stop, which the driver got a citation for speeding and reckless driving. He then had an officer who tried stopping somebody, and the driver took off, causing a 1080. Darian responded to it, and the driver crashed up in the hills after a hit by Darian. The driver got out with a knife. Darian pulled his gun. The driver ran toward the deputy. Darian fired 5 shots, killing the driver. He went back on patrol. Darian got multiple traffic stops. Had 3 traffic stops. The result in 2 warnings and an arrest. He did the paperwork and went off duty. Darian the next day shot a gang member after he shot the commissioner beside the face. Darian had 4 more traffic stops that day, resulting in 4 written warnings. Now, the last thing I can show you guys is actually a current investigation with the sheriff's department involving a wanted criminal. Basically, this is just an RP scene that somebody created. That's, basically, subject has over 1,200 counts of murder. Has multiple reports. They have multiple suspects, which is an FBI agent, a master trooper, multiple black vehicles. They have some videotapes, which basically says, so that's where you're hiding, let's see how long you can run, audio dies. A news article, breaking news, a criminal that has vanished for 7 years, came back to San Andreas, blah, blah, blah. His name is Brian Camelot, a previous affiliate of the Hector Hearthstone CTOS. He's going on a killing spree. He was seen headed to San Andreas, Washington, D.C., where he approximately killed 1,200 people. No civilians were harmed in the process. He is out for any and all law enforcement and government officials. Emailed to unknown. Hello, it has come to my attention 3 criminals that have put themselves into complete and dead silence mode. There's no trace of them. The only person is somewhat related in any form of friendship would be Major Lily White, who now works for the state police, which is the master trooper. The change of us going to talk are low, and I don't think our stance with the government are any good. I would like to also point out that a debt is a dead end. There's no information out in the public about those guys. It's like they never existed. Please give up, Nathan. Greetings, Richard Diaz. Random file that was found 7 years ago has passed. It's been 7 years since the wanted criminal related to the nuke was locked away. No one was heard from Basiji or SK, and HH went dead silent. 2. Some feeling down in my gut tells me that this was the only beginning of the end. What is the world coming to? Sigh. It may be better if we don't ask questions that we don't have the answer we want. This is a legend. CG equals Chase Graves. SK is classified in HH's Hector Hearthstone. Evidence part 2 shows our trooper's body camera, showing the letters that the girl handed him a note, basically showing that the trooper was in on it. Same with another body cam, info on Brian. He was a former deputy for 5 years. An unknown event caused him to almost fire a nuclear missile, was caught and held in Pentagon, but was broken out by an unknown company. We have multiple plates. Evidence part 3. A few emails that I will actually never read. Actually, I never read them. Lily White was arrested a few days ago. This is an issue for an entire operation. You need to get this solved ASAP. I'm aware that this won't be an easy job. Definitely now he is being held at an aircraft carrier offshore of the San Andreas coast. You need to get in and get out with him alive within the coming month. If you do not do this, we will do it ourselves. You know what happens when that point is reached. I am fully aware of the current situation with Diaz. However, you should not be afraid about interfering. I already have a plan to break him out, which I'll be sending you in a few hours. But I suspected the feds are on this email, so we need to switch to a more secure channel to change services. Part 4 is a juggernaut outfit we found. Part 5 is basically a bunch of news articles I don't feel like reading. But yeah, like I said, I'm gonna real quick. You guys might get to read staff chat for a second. Or at least the logs. Because I had to read them real quick, make sure nothing was going down. But that will do it for this JRP video, guys. I will see you next time. Have a good night.